Okay. I am ready to fail miserably in public some more. So, let's see if we can get this figured out. Some tunes.
Catastrophic failure detected. Evacuation protocol has been initiated.
Oh, without a
Abandoned
doubt.
ship. SOS. Abandoned ship.
I am already failing, and I haven't even started yet. So now I need to try and, like, regroup. I've had some home stuff going on, so I need to... what pull request? Let's look. Oh, the non-working Docker file? Okay, what do we got? Alright, live code review of a pull request. From Rust. Working directory, apt-get install. Okay. Some of these we might actually be able to remove that we may not need for this particular use case. But we can cut those out later. I'm going to copy everything in there. Path equals dot. Okay, so this is just like your test thing that you wanted to run. Gotcha. Right, yeah. So no, we'll start with this as a working point, and then we'll turn it into a multi-stage Docker file, just because there's going to be like a lot of build time requirements for all of this that we don't want in the resulting binary. But yeah, we can... we'll merge this in as a starting point. Okay, so let's try to regroup here for a second and remember where we left off. I know that we had some issues with removing an output. Yeah, with it breaking the entire pipeline. So let's figure out where we want to start. So we can either look at that. We can look at adding multiple inputs and trying to swap between those, which I feel like we're going to have similar issues. And then we had this sort of test video source issue where we couldn't get that to play if the pipeline was empty. Oh, is the last rustling? Nice. So you've got all of this finished. Okay, so let's figure out what we want to start with. This one's kind of the ugly one.
An unauthorized connection has been detected.
Mr. Halsey, welcome. Welcome, Raiders. So we're just getting started, trying to figure out where we want to start. We left off with a state of basically everything being broken and not working last stream. I'm hoping for some better luck today. I'm not optimistic. Dr. Dumenberg, welcome. So there were a couple of things we were working on yesterday that we had an issue with. So we had some issues with breaking the pipeline when we try to remove elements. And then we never got into adding multiple inputs yet. And then we also had this thing where we were trying to work on keeping a consistent video stream playing in the background, and that wasn't working the way we thought it would for a couple of reasons. One is if that's all that was there, it broke the pipeline, or it wasn't a functional pipeline. And then the other issue was that if it was in there while another video was in there, they were bleeding together. And so I have the feeling this is like a Z-index thing, but we'll have to look at that. So I'm not sure where I want to start with these. They all feel daunting at the moment. I was trying to get some time into spending some more time in the Rust book, and I didn't. I had some stuff come up last night and couldn't study. So Sigmar, thanks for the follow. Okay, so I guess maybe we can look at the output breaking thing first. I think that's what we were working on last. So we did figure out that when we remove this, if we do our cargo run, we end up kind of stuck here. We go to ready, but we never hit the playing state. Hey, can I ask a question regarding Rust concept I struggle with? So I'm fairly new to Rust. I will try to answer it if I can. If not, I know that there are some people, there's some viewers that know Rust significantly better than I do that may be able to help as well. I've just volunteered them. Okay, so I created a graphiz doc thing here. So actually, I started working on just a make file. Let's see, I want to, let's see. And we'll come up with a command for that later. The main one I want right now, I guess, is, let's open our make file. Let's do a dot minus t svg graph is ready dot to a graph is dot oops, graph is ready dot svg. Okay, just so we can just do like a cargo or a make run here, and we can ensure that that builds and rebuilds the SVG file inside. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, because I interrupted it. Okay, so that's not going to work the way I want it to. Okay, never mind. Let's go remove that back out of the make file. Voluntold, exactly. Will run block. Yes. I'm struggling with closures. It's a really hard concept to grasp. I do know closures in Python, but in Rust. This is lighted. Can I link to it? No, I guess I can't. It is light it up by Hib. There you go. So what part of a closure are you trying to understand? Like how data is transferred into a closure, or just in general? Okay, so we need to generate our dot here anyway. So graph is ready dot to, we're just gonna throw it in here. Ready dot svg. Okay, and then let's just open this real quick. And of course it's going to open over there. Okay. Looks like Muson's on the case with the closure stuff. And I can bring up some sample stuff too. Okay, so this is our working pipeline. Right? No, this is our broken pipeline. So one of the things that we can see is that we have sort of like this video convert portion of the pipeline just sort of like dangling here. And so one thing that we discovered is that we need to remove this from the pipeline, because even though we haven't linked them to anything, well, we did, and then we unlinked them, they're just sort of dangling there, which kind of makes things confusing. The other problem that we see is like this video mixer is also just sort of hanging here. And actually here, let's do this. Let's get a comparison so we can sort of see what we're dealing with here. Okay, so if we take this, we do our cargo run, that'll regenerate those. So, ooh, we don't want to refresh. So now if we do our .-d svg, graph is playing to playing svg. One of these days I'll remember that I need to redirect the output. Okay, so let's open that too. Playing .svg. Okay, so here's a working pipeline, and we can kind of see how everything is linked. So this is our URID code bin that we're passing that URL to, and internally it constructs this whole pipeline where we're demuxing the Matroska into a queue. That queue gets split up into its VP8 video and Vorbis decoders, and then we sort of come out here into our video and audio mixers. And then this comes out of our video T into two different source pads, which gets synced to two different video convert pipelines. And then we can see them go out into two individual FLV muxes, into two queues, and out here. So this is a working pipeline. So we have an issue though, where when we come back here and we find one of these video converts and we unlink it from its pad here, that somehow back here at this video mixer, this gets disconnected.
It appears we have a new follower.
Sayo Kid, thanks for the follow. So I think that's our bigger issue here, is that this pad is somehow getting unlinked. And it doesn't make any sense because this should automatically be there. So we've got a bug somewhere we're going to have to track down. So let's come in here, and the next thing I want to do is I want to add, or I want to remove this. Let's not do 2, and just see what the pipeline looks like. Okay, so this is just 1, and I mean we can go here and we can preview this if we want to.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Rodnick. Okay, so this is a fully working pipeline, and we've only got 1 input, 1 output, and that's working. So let's quickly generate the SVG file for that, and then we can come out here and look at what that looks like. So we can see this is all connected, right? Let's generate it for ready too, just to make sure that there's nothing that happens in between and that state is supposed to look that way. Okay, let's refresh ready. Okay, so the ready state always looks this way. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So this is not a side effect of our pipeline being broken. It's just the state that it's in. So when we're in the ready state, this mixer is not connected yet. And I'm guessing, oh, that's because this entire URID code bin has not taken place yet, right? Notice over here that URID code bin has turned into this whole little sub pipeline. So this hasn't occurred yet. Okay, so now we need to figure out then what our issue is with those being connected. Or removed, I should say. And this might go beyond my knowledge of GStreamer too. Okay. Is it because... Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea, everybody. Okay, so let's go back to adding a second output, and then we're gonna remove it. Okay. And we're gonna check something. Okay, we never left the ready state, which we now know. Okay, so here is what I think is wrong. We unlinked this from here, but now we have this dangling pad. And if we think about the way GStreamer works, it needs to flow. And if at any point we break that, then the pipeline stops. So I think that we need to look at how to release this pad and tell it to remove it. So let's see what we can find in the docs for that. Because let's go to our mixer. What's it called? Request. Get request pad. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what we have for doing a request pad. Here we go. Release request pad. Okay, makes the element free. The previously requested pad is obtained with... This does not unref the pad if the pad was created by request pad. Element unref to free the pad. I don't think I know what all of this is. Wait a second. What's the difference between release request pad and remove pad? Removes pad from self. Pad will be destroyed if it has not been referenced elsewhere using unparent. This function is used by plugin developers and should not be used by applications. Pads that were dynamically requested from elements with request pad should be released with release request pad. Okay. Pads are not automatically deactivated, so elements should perform the needed steps to deactivate the pad in case this pad is removed in the paused or playing state. Set active for more information about deactivating pads. Okay. So it looks like we might have a couple of things here. So I think we need to set active probably before we disconnect it. So let's see if we can find that. Where's search? S, capital S. All right. So we needed set active. All right, activates or deactivates the given pad, normally called from within core state change functions. If active, make sure the pad is active. If it's already active, either in push or pull mode, just return. Okay. What do we got going on in the chat? Oh, we're doing a class on closures. So if the reference is stored as out of scope, is that closure still valid? It'll be compile time error. Closures are checked with the borrow checker. If you need the closure, it outlives what it references, you'll be forced to move things into it, and you have the closure. Yeah, that's one of the cool things I like about the closure is it's kind of like a borrow checker, it uses the borrow checker, so it's almost like calling a function. And then you're sort of forced to move ownership into the closure if it's going to outlive the current scope. Okay, so I think that if this is true, this is on a pad, I think, right? Pad extension set active. Okay, so that means that when we go to our remove output here, if we have our The peer is what we want. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to copy this. I want to know, can we just do a dot set active to false? And will that do what we want? Okay. No. Oh, wait a second. We still have the other one. That's just the audio. So we want the same thing here. And then obviously we have some cleanup to do, but if this works, then we're awesome. Okay, so this works now. So we now are removing an output, but our pipeline still works. So we do getting faster. Faster at what? Okay, so our pipeline is working. However, if we kill this and let's just generate the playing one, right? Oh, just, yeah, doing what I want and not fighting Rust. I will when I get into more stuff. And I'm planning on like investing a lot more time at night and over the weekend to learn Rust. I really do want to get significantly more proficient in it. Okay, so now we can see all of this stuff here. And here's our mixer going into our T. There's our video T. So I still see it connected here though. It's not telling us. It's not telling us if it's active though. You'd think that'd be some useful information to put here though, right? Or what's the T? I'm not sure. Okay, so let's jump into here. And now that we've set them to, we've deactivated them. Now let's try to unlink them and see whether this still works. Okay, so that does not do what I thought it would. Maybe. Okay, so. We're going to have an ordering issue here. Does it automatically unlink? So let's just say output.audio. Here, we're going to comment that back out. And let's... What did I just do? Comment this back out. And let's just try doing this. So output.audio. What was it? Release static pad. And what did that take as its parameter?
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
No, release request pad. Request pad. And what does it take? It takes a pad. Okay. So that is going to be sync pad. Right? No. Sync pad dot get peer dot unwrap.
It's the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Okay. Oh. Request pad. Okay. Expected reference found, GST pad. I'm mid-ray of some stuff for finders. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, for anybody who's near here, Rocker, do you mean the project in general or specifically what I'm trying to fix? So, for anybody who's new that's not familiar with the project, what we're doing is building an RTMP switcher, which can pull in multiple streams from RTMP and/or videos and push them out to one or more outputs, and we want to be able to hot swap them. So either through manually or through a scheduling system, say, hey, streamer 1 is going to Twitch, streamer 2 is going to YouTube, send streamer 2 to Twitch, now swap them for streamer 1, now play a video, and keep like a linear video feed. That's a rough outline of what we're doing. So the problem that we're trying to solve now is, if we just like back it up to the abstraction, is we have one input, we add an output, we add a second output, and in the drawing case, this would be, say, Twitch and YouTube. And now what we're trying to do is say, I want to remove one of these outputs, right? So we have some pipeline where it's a video coming from here through the switcher and out to 2 outputs, and we want to cut one of these outputs off. Except what's happening now is, well, when we're doing that, it actually breaks the entire pipeline and the data doesn't flow through here. So we have to figure out what the issue is here. And so when we look at these pipelines like this, right, where the data flows, the connectivity has to be going, right? There has to be constant flow from start to finish. And if at any point we break one of these connections, the pipeline will stop. And so that's sort of the issue we're having, is a broken connection. And so one of the issues I think we're having is when we disconnect these T's, that's where we're splitting it, right? So the audio is coming through here, and then we're splitting it out to two different audio encoders. And those 2 audio encoders are going out to 2 FLV muxes, which wrap the audio and video together. They multiplex it, is the technical term for it, into just a Q, which is a buffer, and then ultimately out to 2 separate RTMP outputs. Except we're having the issue now where if we disconnect this, we leave this dangling pad here, and then that breaks the entire pipeline. And I'm confused by the fact that we do have a property that says it's allowed to not be linked. So I'm not really sure why that breaks the pipeline. And then we can deactivate this, which seems to work. We could try it by doing that and then going and looking for the output still playing on there or not, to see whether HLS manifest is still drawn or generated. But as soon as we try to unlink this, or we're trying to remove it now to see whether we can get the pipeline to not break. Okay, so that's where we're at now. And so we're just sort of playing with this now. But let's look at what this looks like. We're going to regenerate this SVG for ready. And so let's see what we have here. So this is our video mixer going to our video T. Okay, so that didn't actually unlink this. So we still have that dangling pad there. So we might need to debug the output of this. Why does this return pad? There was a GST error? Oh, you're right. Equals element failed. Okay, so let's do this. let's remove this. And let's just debug. I know we did this where we got the name of it at some point. So sync pad. So the sync pad is the sync on our audio, the first element in our chain, which is exactly what we want. So we want to get the peer, which is which would be the T, right? If we unwrap that, is it get name, I think? Is that it? Okay, so we should be able to spit that out and see. Foreign. That's not helpful. Wonder why the unwrap didn't panic. Not sure. Okay, so I know there was something we did the other day when we were messing with this, and that's how we figured out the peer thing worked. Source 1. Okay. And let's see, can we get the peer's parent? Get parent element dot get name dot toString maybe? No. Get name found for option. Oh, we need to unwrap it. Okay. And that's our audio T. Okay, so this works exactly like we are expecting it to. So if we go back to here and find our audio T, here's our audio T. So source 1, and if we follow this, right, comes through this encoder, out this other side, into this FLV mux, and that goes through a queue, and that is to the stream key 2. So that is exactly what we are expecting. So now the question is, why does that not work, right? That's going to exactly where we want it to. Oh, wait a second. We still have this on link here. Let's remove this really quick. Let's just worry about detaching audio. So, where did we leave off here? So we wanted sync pad dot get peer dot unwrap. These start getting really kind of wild. So then we wanted to release request pad, and that's going to be a reference to our sync pad. Wasn't that what we had working before? Release request pound for no method release request pad found for struct. All right, let's back up a couple minutes because I know that we had that working. Oh, right. We came from this way. Output audio release request pad. Wait a second. Audio is a GST element. Did we release it on the wrong side? Is that our issue? Because output audio is the audio side, so we need output audio. We need the other direction. What we really want is output dot. No, yeah, we want sync pad dot get peer So this is the source side, right? Why would that be on there though? No, it would be, we need our audio T, so we actually need self dot, we need self dot video out, right? Video out, that's our T dot release request pad. And then we need to pass it this. So this is really what we want. Unexpected, oh wait. That's the direction. So this is our, well, we want audio here. So this is our audio T. From there, we're asking to release. Thanks for the follow, Maya. Okay, and then we're passing it the specific pad. So this is our element on our output that we know is connected here. We're asking for its peer, which would be the thing on this audio outside. Okay, let's try this. Still no dice. We break the pipeline every time we do that. Wait a second. Do we need to unlink it first? I don't know. This is where some of my knowledge of GStreamer just disappears. I do all of this from the command line, so I've never had to do this. Good main panic to call option unwrap on a none. What? On 249. All right, let's see what this looks like after we run this, because it looks like we can't unlink it. So removing the request pad looks like the way we're supposed to be doing it. So let's spit that out and see what we get. Okay, so here is our audio T. Yeah, so we removed it. So now we have just like this hanging encoder out here that's not linked to anything. Okay. Okay, so let's maybe try to see if what happens if we go and we remove all of these elements. So I think the way to do this, I don't know whether this is going to help or not. Well, let's go ahead and also do this with the video. And then we'll see where we're at. I'm going to have so much code cleanup to do after we kind of get a handle on what this needs to be doing. All right. Okay, so now we sort of have this video T here. But now we have like these hanging elements out here, right? See this whole kind of like mini pipeline here. So we have all these hanging elements. So we need to clean these up. Yeah. So we're still trying to figure this out. And a lot of this is kind of exploring the internals of GStreamer.
As thrilling as this might be for your viewers, you could simply check the Stack Overflow.
I'm not really sure we'll find answers to this on Stack Overflow. I mean, we can if everybody wants to pause and go searching, we can. Sometimes I like to experiment and play with things and see what happens, and then I sort of like start developing a mental map of the API. Okay, so
Would you like me to look up a recipe for a light bolognese sauce? It should pair quite nicely with your spaghetti code.
yeah, the code is pretty gnarly. Okay, so I think let's create a helper method here, because I think what we need to do is like create some kind of loop here where I guess we can sort of map it out here. So we have this sync pad. We need to grab the parent, right, of this sync pad. Self.output.audio. Is that still pointing to it? Let's debug this. What does that point to after output.audio? After we've already like released everything. Which is behind a shared. All right. Okay, so we still have this object here. So then we should be able to... We're going to need to walk this down and grab all of its children. No. Because it's not going to have children. We need a way of like releasing everything, removing it all from the pipeline and releasing it. All right, let's just go kind of digging through the GStreamer library and see what we can come up with. Release request pad. Let's see if they're using that at all. No, they're not. What was the method that we were looking at for returning things in the library? Unref. So nobody calls unref. Nobody calls unref. Right, this does not unref the pad if the pad was created by using element request pad. Release request pad needs to be followed by GST object unref to free the pad. Nice examples. As for release versus unref, release doesn't decrement the reference count, so you need to decrement it manually. I don't even see an unref in here. So is the rest side of this doing something magically? Release request pad. Function unref $. Yeah, nothing. So I do think we need to figure out how to remove all of these elements from the pipeline as well. Yeah, that's my thinking too, is it's in glib. So what I'm thinking is, like, when we look at this, how they're sort of just hanging here, I think that they'll probably get freed after we remove them from the pipeline, because then glib would not know of any other references to them, would be my thought, but I could be wrong here. So I think we need to look for a way to remove these. So we might have to like create some sort of function to take this element and grab its pads and then walk all the way down like a recursive function, find the peer on that pad if that has pads and peers, and then just keep keep climbing down until we find something that no longer has any additional pads. We also need to make sure it's not our pad. There's got to be an easier way than this. And I don't know whether I want to create like a slice of all the GST elements in it. So here's a thought. Here's what I'm thinking. So if we have, okay, so we have this URID code bin, and we can kind of see it in its own box here. And that's because it's like its own pipeline. So I'm thinking we could create our own pipeline here that is the output. And then we can remove and add that as a whole because it is also a GST element. For each pad, for each sync pad, and for each source pad on element extension, which looks like the way to walk the graph. Okay, I mean that could be another way to go. Do we have any preferences as to whether we treat this all as one element this way or we walk it? Because I think either one should work. This would basically require us to create a second pipeline or create a pipeline for each output. But then we should be able to treat it like a black box. It also might give us a nice generic way of adding outputs where you just provide one element and we don't care what's in it. And I mean, we can explore both approaches too. So for each pad. Call function with user data for each of self's pads. Func will be called exactly once for each pad that exists at the time of this call, unless one of the calls to func returns false, in which case we will stop iterating pads and return early. This would allow us to iterate over it. So we would just need to make a recursive function. All right, let's just explore that for a second. Let's see, function, remove elements from pipeline. And this would be a GST element. So we would do something like elem dot get parent element. I swore that had that. Nope. Get parent. Oh, we need to like, was it downcasting? Is that how we ended up getting that element before? I'm trying to remember how we did that. I know we did this before. What was that on? Get parent element. It's on the pad. Oh, right. Okay, so we actually want a GST. We want to do it on a pad. Pad. Element. Ah. Melky Dev, what's going on? We're here struggling with some Rust and stuff. All right, so we're gonna need to unwrap that because, yeah. Okay, and then once we do that, we can say for each pad, and that took a for each pad. Okay, so let's see. P is a function that gets the element and the pad. Returns back bool. Oops, bool. Okay, so that would look something like this. So we have element and pad, right? Is that right? Okay, so we would do same thing. Remove elements. Oh, right. Okay. So we need self here too, right? We need and self. So we would do self dot remove elements from pipeline. That feels like a really long name, but we'll roll with it for now. And then we would pass it P. However, we need a what's our base case here? So okay, so extra parenthesis. Okay, yeah, all right. So I took that away. All right, so we're just gonna keep calling that recursively on each pad. If it has no pads, it would stop on its own. So we should probably just return bool from here. That would make this easier. What? So we're gonna do that. Just thinking about like where we bail from here. So I guess we remove them in reverse order. So I don't know. Detach, or I should say unlink, and then we should delete or remove from pipeline. Adding blank comments as array. Oh, cool. Yeah, I hate when you do stuff like that. You're like, okay, we're gonna like just. Nice. that works. Okay, so oh, this is gonna be one of those days where Pretzel Rocks just crashes like once per song. Okay, so here we have, we're linking over each pad. What do? When we get the pad, I don't know if we need to unlink it or not from its peer, but we need to remove it from its pipeline. And then no, we need to get its parent. This is going to be slightly confusing, right? Because we're trying to grab every pad, and then we want to follow the pad to its peer. That's what we want to do. Okay, so let's not recall this recursively just yet. So we need to find peer to the pad. So, and that's what we want to do.
We have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Emerux. All right, so that's really what we want to do. We want to go to, we need an option. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so pad.getPeer, and if I recall, this returns an option, right? Okay, so match. So, okay. Then we're gonna call if it's none, we're gonna return, or I guess it's just false, right? Because this is an expression, right? No, I don't think we have a case where we want it to do anything, right? Because false would stop iterating over and the next pad might have a peer. So that's not right. And same thing with here, right? I don't think we have a case where we care.
We have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Anuria. All right. Anu Ryu, is that how you pronounce it? Okay, so yeah. I don't think this matters. How do I just do a case where I don't care about the return value of it? And I don't even think, I think this should probably be a result if we get an error. I don't think it needs to be bool. Let's remove the return value for now because so far I don't think we need. No problem. Call me Ann. Most here do. Thanks for the stream. All right. The function could have a signature result box dying error. Yeah. So that's sort of what I was thinking as well. I think it's more of an error case. Boxstein error. Right? There we go. Oh, what are we yelling at? Mismatched types? Oh, it's because we're not returning anything here. So, same thing. Is that really what we want then? Because this has like a dot okay or no, that's not what we want. Is all right, it's some or none. It's some or none, right? So I don't really care about the none case, right? I just want to actually just match on if pad.getPeer is some, then I want to do this. right? And I'm going to just return you dislike box stairs? So I don't think I really care about that, because I think it's perfectly okay for there to not be a peer, because it could be disconnected. I just care that if I find somebody connected to that pad, I want to also make sure that I go and find all of their elements. Because what we're ultimately interested in is I have this pad. I want to go up to its parent, and I want to ask its parent for all of its pads that are connected to it. And then I want to walk those over, like find the pad on the opposite side they're connected to, and then go up to their parent and do the same thing. And then I want to walk it backward. So if we have isSum here, then what we want to do is call this, and we want to walk over to, wait a second. Yeah, we want the peer. So let's do let peer equal pad.get peer, right? No, I guess that could be expressed in an if let peer equal pad. I always forget some of these like little cleaner ways of doing these things with Rust. Because here I'd have the peer. I mean, I guess that would work for now. We'll just say if peer isSum, and then I'll clean this up in a second when I look up that stuff. So, okay. So let's change here. So peer dot while if let pattern equal expression match expression pattern. If let pattern equals expression. All right, let's explore that for a second. So we're talking like if let peer equal pad.get peer. And then this would be match, right? Oh, right. So it'd be if let sum peer equal. And then that would be all we'd need, right? I don't know what this is complaining about yet. I think this is just wrong return values. So we'll fix those in a second. So so this would be peer.get parent element dot no, it would just be the peer. It would just be the peer. To explain, if let and while let takes a pattern to bind against. If the pattern matches, it's available in the body. Okay, so in this particular case, if get peer was none, then this sum peer would not apply. I think I updated something because... Oh no, it looks like all the GStreamer bindings updated. Okay. So that's compiled? Oh, wait a second. I'm in the wrong directory. Oh, okay. Switcher. Cargo build. Okay, expected enum standard result
Catastrophic
found.
failure detected. Evacuation protocol has been initiated. Abandoned ship.
I thought-
SOS. Abandoned ship.
I thought that is what we did here. Oh, wait, we're in the wrong spot. That goes here. Okay. That'll get rid of that error. Now what do we have? No method for each pad on GST element. For each pad? I thought that's what that was on. For each pad. This is on... Oh, this is on element, right? Oh. For each pad. No method found for each pad. So this is on the element extension trait for each underscore pad. What is this?
It is over here.
Method not found in GST element. And enum standard result found. Oh, because we don't have... That one's easily fixed. This is just because we don't have... Right? Alright, now I'm confused. Because this is a GST element. Well, that's just going to tell me type. But that's an option element. Add extension. So why is that not found? Okay, I'm confused. What do you think is there? Get parent element dot unwrap dot. So it's not on there. Okay, maybe I'm confusing these two types that are coming back from here. Get parent element. Okay, so that's the method. And it returns back an option element. Okay. And so now here we should have our for each. Hey Thamar, what's going on? Okay, am I missing something? The difference between the element and this element extension? And is there a reason why like this trait wouldn't be applied to my element? Yeah, and so that's what I thought too, Musin, but this should get me the parent element, which is a GST element. However, it doesn't appear that that for each pad is on there, unless I'm looking at a different version of the docs than for here's an advanced type, an advanced trick. How do I see what version this doc is for? I also kind of want to update our no field pad. Right. Why is that there? Oh. Let T dine element equals. Here's an advanced trick to see if a type implements a trait. Let T and dine element. All right, let's try this. So let t and time and this would be pad dot get parent element dot unwrap dot element. Oh, my type. So this would be GST element dot element. I mean, okay, gotcha. So you want pad dot get parent element dot unwrap. Oh, and I need to find this trait. I don't even know where that's at. GStreamer element extension. This would be there we go, element extension. Cannot be made into an object. Okay, let's see, cargo build. So we still don't have this here. Okay, where are we going wrong? One thing I want to do, well, I'm just sort of thinking here, is I am going to upgrade GStreamer because I just saw when we accidentally compiled in the other directory, we had all of this new GStreamer goodness. Was it 017? I think it was. Yeah, here we go. We want that. Because why not? Everything's broken anyway. Oh, apparently it's not in there? Alright, okay then. We won't be upgrading. Boo! I wanted the new stuff. Okay, so I'm still unclear why that method does not show up on here. Yeah, they don't even use it in our examples. All right, so because this is clearly a GST element. And it's, do we have to turn on this feature? Is that our issue? let's see. Enable feature for crate. For crate, not create. I naturally want to type the word create. Default. Okay, so we just add comma feature after. Oh, you wrote a tool for discovering and listing them? Awesome. Okay, so we need this sort of approach. All right, we're gonna go this route. GStreamer. So it looks like there might be like some sort of like backwards API compatibility or something and that's why they want you to like opt into these features. And I need to read more about the features functionality in general, I think. What was our feature? V1_14. V1_14. Is that right? Oh, what's with the syntax highlighting? Hey, Cisco. All right, let's see. What? Okay, so that is clearly not valid syntax. Stack Overflow lied to us. Cargo book, that's what we want. No, there we go.
Sir, as thrilling as this might be for your viewers, you could simply check the Stack Overflow.
Yeah, we tried that. They lied to us. Is this really, this is what we want to do? We create a new level. There's no like thing that we add to the end for a feature. This is the appropriate way to do it. You can do it inline. Oh, it's to expose features. Okay, so we have some sort of broken syntax here then. Does this need to be? No. All right, let's see. Houston says crate equals. Yep, we've got our curly brace. Then we have version equals our version number. That is closed. Comma. Features equal. So it should just be GStreamer, not GStreamer. But we still have something broken here, right? But I don't see where it's broken. Because we've got this here. It looks like it doesn't think that ends there. Oh. Nope. Still broken when cut when done by hand. Oh, wait a second. This might just be our normal errors. Oh, yep. That compiled. All right. That worked. So we had some sort of issue with one of the quotes from copying and pasting. I was always told if you copied from Stack Overflow that it just works. I was lied to. Okay, so here we have an issue with bool being returned. We're just going to say true. Because for now, that's all we care about. Did Vim just crash on me? I've got something running here that... We'll have to solve that later. Okay, so does that work? Expected found standard. Expected unit type. Oh. This is the problem with coming from languages that don't require semicolons to languages that sometimes do and sometimes don't. Okay. So now, unused standard result that must be used. Okay, these are just warnings. So that works. So that was our issue, is this for each pad was existed in inside of a feature. Okay, so now we can continue to think about this. So now we've taken this initial pad that we've gotten, we've climbed up to its parent, and we've asked for all of its pads. And what we probably really want is we're connecting at one place. So what we really probably want is, like, for example, this is the thing that's connecting. This is the pad, right? That's the pad. That will pass in. We'll grab our sync pad. And we probably don't want sync pads. We want all of them this way. So what we really want is the source pads. So let's go, and this should be for each source pad. Okay. Okay. So now we have each source pad. If it has a peer, we're going to go to the peer and we want to do the same thing. And then after that happens, what we can do is we can grab the peer.get parent element, unwrap. All right, so at this point, we have the parent element. We know that we've already crawled that peer's parents and done the same thing. So it should be safe to remove that from the pipeline. So that would be a GST. Let's mark this. It's add many pipeline. Okay, so it's going to be on the pipeline. Go back here. So it should be self.pipeline.remove pad. What happens if we remove a pad and not the element? I would assume we'd want to remove the element, right? Remove, and then we're going to pass this. Mismatch types. Because this probably wants a reference to it, right? Alright, oh handy dandy compiler, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Value borrowed here after move. So when we did, so we moved it up here. Okay. So now you can put ref peer to borrow it, or put a and after the equal to do the same. Okay, so now we've climbed that, we've removed this. So if we run this, if it doesn't just completely blow up in our face, oh wait, we need to find our debug statement to remove that. Oh, we never call it. So here we're gonna take our sync pad and we're going to call self dot remove
Sir,
elements
please.
from
It is not
pipeline.
only your reputation at stake here. Do be careful.
Sync pad, and takes a reference to it. Okay. And then we would do the same thing for here. And I guess at this point, does it matter if we unlink it? Okay. Let's run this really quick and see what we get. Would you say coding high-level stuff like HTTP servers and other with Rust defeats the purpose of Rust being a systems-level programming language? Yeah, I would not say that. I mean, at the end of the day, use what you're proficient in. You know, if you're already using Rust for a lot of things and you write Rust all day, every day, why not continue? Yeah, and I agree with Musin here too. You know, that an HTTP server is probably the definition of, you know, a systems level thing. Okay, so now let's spit out this dot file here and see. I mean, our stuff is still broken, so it's not working the way we expect it to, but let's see if we have these hanging things here. So this is our one video convert. Well, we can come over here. Okay, so we still have this sitting here. So that did not work the way we expected it to. All right, we might need some debug statements here because that's not working at all the way we thought it would. Well, I guess let's... Oh, this isn't going to be returned back from here. I mean, I can expected elements to be removed. I don't know. We'll do the same thing here. Expected element to be removed from pipeline. And I'll have to look at better ways of passing these things out of here so that the parent here can get it, because this returns true or false, right? I suppose we could set a value up here, like let error, right? And then set it there. Borrow it for here. Expected. Okay. So we're not getting any errors there. But why are they still in the pipeline? I just want to try something real quick. Let's go back up to where we call this. Oops. I'm just going to call self.pipeline. We know it's going to break. Remove, and let's just pass it output.audio. Mismatch type. Oh. And let's see what happens here. Let's see whether it... Okay. Let's generate our SVG, and let's go look. So we should not have a dangling audio here. And we do not. So let's try doing it with the video too and see what happens. And now the question is really, does this create a memory leak too? Okay, so let's generate this again and see what happens. So that didn't actually, oh wait, because we said audio twice. I'm dumb. Video. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we do have this issue. Wait, no. Now I forget what was there. You're never using the current peer in the loop. Well, let me look at that in a second. Okay, so that did work there, but we still leave the other one. So we do need to traverse this. So let's see. So let's enable this again, remove that. Okay, so pipeline. Actually, yeah, so I think this is in the wrong place, right? Because effectively what we want to do is, after we've called it on our peers, we remove our self. Actually, here's what I'm thinking. I think we need to go about this the other direction. I think what we really want is an element. You give me the top element, right? Element. And then we can get rid of all this nonsense. And we can say element. Loop over all of the source pads on that element. And then this would be on that pad, get the peer. Why is that erroring? Some peer. This is... No. Alright, we'll look at that in a second. Just following this through. So this is what we really want. You give me the element. I iterate over that element, grab all of its source pads, so the things that are downstream from it, and then I'm going to get the peers from those things.
Someone find you
and call.
It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Letnem. Oh, right. So what we really want is the peer.get parent element, right? Yes. Element dot unwrap. This is going to blow up if it doesn't have a parent, but we should expect that every pad has a parent. It'd be weird if it didn't. So I'll accept a panic here. Okay, so now we call it on that pad's parent. And now we're just talking about higher. And then after that is all done, we should be able to remove ourselves from the pipeline. I think I like that approach better. Oh, that's actually. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, that's just where we, because we changed our interface. So now what we want to do is pass in output.audio. Audio. Oh, we need to borrow that. And then we need to do the same thing here. Output.video. Oh, look at this. Look at this. So that's our issue, is having all these dangling elements in the pipeline. So all of this fixed it. Oh. Okay. Let's look at our so we have no dangling stuff. Awesome. And then we can use this same method.
Super creative.
And then I guess we need to, we're going to have a variation of this function too, because when we go to do our inputs, we want to walk the other direction, right? So now we want to get the sync pads and follow those back.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Pudding Senpai. Okay. Awesome. I'm so happy. After yesterday's stream where like literally everything didn't want to work, I'm just Okay. So now here's a question. Do we need to deactivate the pad first before we do that, or can we just remove them? Okay, so it looks like we don't need to do the deactive thing. We can just remove them, and it looks like that just happens. So let's come up here. Fixed. Fixed. So this is still an outstanding question. And if Mr. Halsey and Musin are here, what's a way of, is there any tooling surrounding checking for memory leaks? The unref. Yeah. So that was my exact thought, Musin, is do those things just sit there somewhere? Now I'm drawing a blank because it's been so long since I've done C and C++. What's the program that you run and it tells you when you leak memory? I know this. Valgrind, yeah. So does Rust have an equivalent to Valgrind? I'm going to leave this comment here because I do worry about this. Because also do we still have a reference to this? Let's go to our remove output. Let's see. Here we recursively remove the video. Okay, we do remove it from here. So we technically no longer have any references to it at this point where we remove it. You can run Rust stuff under Valgrind. Okay, so we'll leave this here and we'll check this. Okay, so now we should be able to add inputs and remove inputs. So I think that this should work, just in the opposite direction. So let's fix that. Let's go ahead and add input. Actually right now, our inputs are just a single element. Let's see. But I would personally just bring in glib and unref the pad after you remove it. The docs say to do so. What do you mean by that? You mean like we need to use glib something or another here? I don't even know where that's at. Oh, okay. We need like you're talking about a glib crate. Crates.io. Glib. All right. We'll grab the latest. And there's also a few crates I've seen for GStreamer. So some of the features I think are in like GStreamer app and all of these things too. 10. All right. So we'll just go ahead and match it. Okay, so that's there. So now we should be able to use glib. All right, let's go find the documentation for this and find where it's at. All right, on ref. Is that what we're looking for? G-object on ref? I have the feeling this is what we're looking for, but oh no, oh that's G-reject. Where's G-object? G-object. Is that what we're looking for? I know that they're probably cleaning up after their own code. Let's just go take a peek. So they're using mini object. It's a TST mini object. Actually, let's go see if we can find the code for remove. Where is the pipeline? Where are you, pipeline? Because that'd actually be a really interesting thing to look at, the implementation for pipeline, to see whether it removes itself. Oh, there's way too much code here to look for. I guess it would be this does not unref the pad. If the pad was created by using request pad, release request pad needs to be followed by. Yeah, so that's when we free the pad. But the question is, because you would think that the element would own its pads, if we freed the element, it would hopefully clean those up too. I am calling release request. Wait. Yeah, I am calling release request pad. So we've got two sides of this, right? Let's go to the mixer. So we do have release request pad. Release request pad. And that's because this is the T. Let's look at our diagram here on a working thing. Okay, so this video T and this audio T will always exist. They are connected to these mixers. So the video mixer and the audio mixer connected to their T's and the outside. These will always exist no matter how much we hot swap the inputs and outputs. And I don't even know whether we need to do a T on the input side. We're gonna find out with the mixer. So we're releasing this pad when we're done with it. So it sounds like we need to free that as well. So we have that problem on this side. If we're adding and removing pads, we could potentially be leaking these pads based on that comment. And then on the other side of it is we're taking this part of the pipeline. So this is the video, this is the audio for one output, and this is it for another output. The new code takes all of this, walks it, and removes it from the pipeline. But the question is there still dangling references to it where it's never cleaned up? So we could be leaking memory on this side. A lot of GTK RS stuff is auto-generated. They have a really neat tool to generate Rust from C plus XML. It says you only need to unref it if you made the pad via request pad. Well, that's what I did. I did get request pad, right? Get request or request pad. So that's how we're doing it here, is the get request pad. So I think we are gonna have to figure that out. Let's see. Any cleanup needs to be done on GST element. Okay, so let's look into potential memory leaks. We could be leaking pads on the T side. We could also be leaking elements if there are dangling references to the GST element. Look at that. We barely fell into the... So I want to make sure that those are left there. We can start digging into that. All right. I kind of like the idea of doing this at some point too. But I guess... I just don't see a way of freeing this stuff. I really want to look at this code. Where is pipeline implemented? Implement pipeline. So that's in editing services? Is that really where? GStreamer source pipeline. What's the difference between auto and... Let's look in here. GStreamer source auto pipeline. And then GStreamer source auto. Okay, that's not in there. I don't see any binding to GST object on ref in the GStreamer RS, which would be the C function you'd call per. Right, the rest code is almost all generated from the docs. It's called here, yeah. Yeah, so that, that begs the question, is it leveraging like the borrow checker and things like that to determine when there's no more references to be able to release it on its own, or are we just sort of like stuck with... I mean, because it seems to be calling from glib borrow this unsafe cast reference. Oh, that's not going to work because it says device, subclass append. I mean, you would think that removing it from the pipeline would tell it to free up the memory. All right, let's see. Wrapper around values representing borrowed C memory. This is returned from glib borrow and ensures that the wrap values never drop when going out of scope. Borrowed values must never be passed by value or mutable reference to safe Rust code and must not leave the C scope in which they are valid. They must never be passed by value or mutable reference. So it doesn't do stuff on drop. So we are guaranteed to have some sort of memory leak then. Yeah, so I think the best thing to do is probably, let's do the, remove. Where is the element? Pipeline. I thought that was what it was. So unless release request pad is cleaning up that borrowed type. I mean, we can look for that too. Release request pad. This is the docs. So let's look at 155 and 532. GStreamer source auto element 155 and 532. All right, 155 and 532. So it's calling glib none. Self is the element. Okay, so it's just calling the C code with the element and the pad that we want to be released. So that looks like it's a one-to-one mapping to the C then, right? But then that would mean that they're not calling that unref. GST element release request pad. Let's see. GST element release request pad. And that is on... Let's see. Release request pad. It's calling GST element release request pad. GST element release request pad. Oh, it's in the GST sys library. So by what I'm seeing in this code, though, if it's a one-to-one mapping to the C code, then that logic... this is... No, that's not what I'm talking about. Then by that logic, we still... It's not on... We haven't unrefed it, right? I'm going crazy here. Pipeline, remove. GST bin extension. So it's in GST bin. Remove. GST bin extension. To glib, none is doing something fancy via glib translate stash type, but I don't understand it yet. Well, that makes me feel better because I don't understand it either. All right, removes the element, but it's still calling this. If you want the element to still exist after removing, you need to call. Oh, wait a second. All right, Musin. I think this might be the key here. I mean, I don't understand the internal code for it, but it's saying if you want the element to still exist after removing, that we have to call GST object ref on it. So this, I'm guessing, increments the reference counter for it so that it doesn't get destroyed. So by this statement, it would make me believe that it unreferences it, because it's telling us we have to do something specific if we want to maintain one. So it also says that if the element's pads are linked to other pads, the pads will be unlinked before the element is removed. Well, we don't have remove pad. We just have... so that should free up our kind of worry about elements being leaked. So now the concern is under release request pad, right? And that is on our element here. Makes the element free the previously requested pad is obtained with request pad. This does not unref the pad. If the pad was created by using request pad, I don't understand here. What's the difference between request pad and retrieves the request pad from the element according to the provided template? Pad templates can be looked up using get static pad template. Okay, so is this specific to that then? Because this is saying, that one's saying, even though we call request pad, we release it using release request pad. However, this is saying that it does not unref the pad if the pad was created using request pad. But that's not what we did. We had, we used get request pad. That retrieves a pad from the element by name. This version only retrieves request pads. The pad should be released with release request pad. This method is slower than manually getting the pad template and calling request pad if the pad should have a specific name. Okay. Well, that's fine because we don't really care about the name. And this one doesn't say anything about the way we free it, so we may be okay. Right. That's that's sort of what I was thinking too. Okay, so this should be okay. All right. And I think that this isn't really in the like main flow. This speed thing probably isn't as big of a concern because the only time we're going to call this is like when we're adding or removing outputs. Okay. So I guess let's go into our add input and look at the way we're doing this. So right now, we just have a vector of inputs, but I think we want to change this to also be a hash map. Let's go find our... And now the question becomes inputs. Do we need to track the audio and video separately? I'm just going to put a GST element here for now, because this is going to get a little more complicated, and let's walk through why that is. So right now in our add input here, let's look to see whether... Okay, so we're going to return an error if the input already exists by that name. So here's our issue. So right now, we have our source, which is going to be a GST element. So that represents the entire source, right? We don't know what its paths are yet. So our issue now is that we provide this callback that is called when the paths are found. And so is that true? So this is actually synchronous, right? So I think we do have an issue here, though. So we've got a couple of issues here. One is where we're gonna... Where are we even adding it to our inputs? I guess we didn't. Okay, so here's our name. So we're not adding it, so let's add a to-do here. To-do. Add to inputs. Self.inputs. Okay, because that's missing. So we are missing a couple of things. Okay, so that's just a function call. So I shouldn't have to worry because when this connect pad added returns, this has already taken place, right? I don't really have to be worried about this being called in another thread. So it would be safe to look at the modifications that it made to audio and video mixer after this function returns. Or when I pass closures like this, should I just assume that this could be called in another thread somewhere and that it's not thread safe? Because the issue we have here is, unlike the outputs we know what the pads are immediately. Here, we won't know what they are until after this logic takes place. The added probably doesn't call the function immediately, judging by the move closure. Well, if it's called in another thread, it'd force the closure type to be send and sync and static. Okay, so if we look at it this way, it is send, sync, and static. So, okay. So that means that this could be called in another thread. So here's where our issue is. So this is going to be called once for each pad. So we sort of have an issue with trying to track.
Sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Chris. Okay, so our issue here is that we can't add the elements that actually attach. So we're going to have to start at the parent. So in this case, we're going to start at the URID code bin. We're going to have to store that. And then when we remove it, we're going to have to walk the other direction. And we're going to have to follow it to the mixer. And is the mixer requesting a pad? I think it does. Get request pad. Okay. So here we can add this to our so we would self dot input dot output. What's the method to put stuff in a hash map? I can't wait till I don't have to look up dumb stuff like this. Insert. Add input. Okay. Wait. Add. Okay, so we're going to say self.inputs.insert name and source. Okay, so now we're tracking this URID code bin. And I think for now, we're going to just assume that all sources are going to come from a URL. We can do something better later, but for now, that's what we're going to do. And so what we need to do now we have the ability to add more than one source to a mixer. This should work. Hopefully, we'll try it. Then we need to implement our we need to implement our remove input. And this one we're going to have to walk the other direction. So we'll do a similar thing that we did with the removing the output elements, and maybe we should like rename those functions. Except now we don't want to go all the way down. If we hit our mixer, we know we've gone too far. We don't want to remove it if it is the mixer. But we do want to release the pad. So let's just take some notes here. So traverse pads to peers until we hit audio or video mixer. Don't remove mixer element. Release pad from mixer. So this is going to look a little bit different. So now I think that what we should probably do, maybe we should say, just call this like remove output elements. And then we'll end up having to create like a helper one for the remove input. Remove elements. So this would be just output elements. Output elements. Okay. I thought that might be shared between them, but it turns out that they're going to be slightly different. Okay. I'm just going to take a quick bio break, and then we'll dive into, I guess, testing that we can add more than one input. If somebody wants to get me like another URL for a video that we can put in there, we can see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and just remove that and remove that. All right, be right back. Is that safe for work? Okay. So now we have another input. I'm going to trust you here. Well, let's open it. What is it? Okay. That works. So, let's wait, we don't really need all that. All right, so your I2. All right. There's our second link. Uh-oh, what's our mixer yelling at now? Undeclared type mixer. What? What did I break? I broke something. I'm still in the wrong. I really, really want to upgrade. I really want to upgrade. Use an undeclared type mixer. What? Did I comment out something that I wasn't supposed to? Did I accidentally? What is this? Oh, because that's broken. Okay, okay, okay. So I broke something in that file. Method not found in Mixer. Remove elements from pipeline. Hold on. Oh. Oops. Remove output elements. There's probably a better name for this because really this could be used generically, right? And we could probably give it options or something like that too. We'll look at that here in a second. Oh, right. Borrowed here after move. Crap. The possible options: GStreamer get at branch equals revision. Also local depths with some crate equals path. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm gonna copy this for a second, and I don't know. We'll go in here and we'll leave that there for a second, and we'll come back to it. All right, let's figure out what do we got going on here. So this is yelling at me because I'm moving it here, but it's being used there. So really, I think we need to add it after all this is done, right? Could not parse TOML. What? Just added the comment. Okay, apparently it doesn't like comments. Oh. Oops. The syntax highlighter decided that it was a comment, so I thought it was valid. Oops. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. So this is all working now. Now we can go back to the original thing we wanted to do. We'll remove all that. I'm just going to remove this stuff. We don't need it. Okay. So now there's our main. Copy this. Let's find your link again. There we go. Okay. So we have a second video. Now we're going to add another input. We're going to call that one Rockaboo. Rockaboo. All right. And this is going to be URI 2. URI 2. All right. Let's go. Okay, we're playing. I have no idea what's going to come out the other side of this, but let's check it out. Whoa, okay. So we've got some issues. But I think this also fits into our one issue we had with layering. So we need to look at into like z indexes and stuff like that, because I have the feeling like maybe they're at like the same z index, and that's our issue. So okay, we're gonna have to dig in here, because this is all new to me. We are hitting uncharted territory. We'll leave that one out. Okay. Let's see. Let's just go to the Time management. Nope, none of those are what we're looking for. So let's look at the mixer and see if we have some stuff on the pad that's interesting. So let's go to GST inspect video mixer. We'll start there. Okay. So that's it. Let's see. Let's look at the T. If we put a T, can we do a T coming the other direction? No, there's only one to sync. Wait. Okay, so that's not it. So let's Google. GStreamer, video mixer Z index. Z ordering. Maybe that's what we want. Z order. Z index. Z index. Z order. Okay, so what do we got? I don't see anything here with it.
This song is about a very difficult subject. Is there anyone here that never gets anxiety?
Okay, that's not it.
Don't know what's coming next, but ladies and gentlemen, we are all currently part of the same team. We're part of the same world.
Let's look at here. Is there anything for Z order? Z index? Z order? No. AG Z index. Well, that's not helpful. Z order? No. Z index? We'll find you. All right. Nope. Docs, GStreamer video docs. In memory in Z or flip Z order in case switch odd rows last row. Wait, what? Where is oops. GitHub. GStreamer. Okay. This was under docs. GStreamer. Right? GStreamer video. All right, go back up. No. Okay. This is for scaling. So that's not what we're looking for. I know I've seen some stuff with this. So yeah, I always forget to use the the fun hotkeys on GitHub. I don't know why I always forget that. Here we go. So we have a compositor. The compositor accepts the video streams for each of the requested sync paths. It will compare the incoming geometry and frame rate to define the output parameters. Indeed, output video frames will have the geometry of the biggest incoming video stream and the frame rate of the fastest incoming one. So right now, Kresnek, what we're trying to figure out here is in our pipeline, we now have multiple inputs coming into this video and audio mixer, and I don't still have this up here, but we get a lot of artifacts inside the stream, which tells me that I think that what's happening is that the two video streams are just really getting mixed together, and what we really want to do is layer them on top of each other so that one basically replaces the other. We might be able to also try to put a scale in front of it, and then we could put boxes with the individual videos and do kind of like a picture-in-picture thing. That might be possible. We're gonna have to play a little bit. So compositor looks like a way that we might be able to do it, right? Because this would give us a way of giving the X position, Y position, width, height, and the transparency of it, and also a Z order. So like let's just play with this for a second and see what we get. Okay. So we can kind of see where it's layering stuff. Thanks for the follow, 95 Trans. So if we follow this along, right, we have a test source, we're selecting the first pattern, we're just supplying, you know, frame rates and the height and width. So we've got 100 by 100. Then we've got a video box. What's a video box? And that's setting a border on it. And then we're sending that to a compositor. Setting the alpha channel. Interesting. Okay. And what does this one do? So we've got a pipeline to demonstrate compositor used together with video box. This should show a 30 video test source with some transparency showing the background checker pattern. Another video test source with just the snow pattern of 100 by 100 is overlaid on top of the first one of the left, vertically centered with a small. So let's see what this looks like.
Yeah, it's super creative.
It is super creative. Okay, so here's sort of like our picture-in-picture, right? So the compositor might be what we are looking for. I don't know if that's what we are looking for audio yet. So let's see what this one does. Nice. Yeah, so this is picture-in-picture. So I think that's sort of that might be what we're going for here, because it looks like our mixer might not give us what we want. Let's see. Is it possible to set Z-index priority of GL video mixer source pads? I want to mix 3 videos each with predefined priority Z-index to control the overlay behavior in case of video intersection. How can this be achieved? If I'm not wrong, each sync pad would have a property named Z-order, just like other properties. Okay. So I did nothing rocker boot. I did get a new keyboard with very loud keys. Oh, is that a thing? Okay. So this sounds like we're supposed to have a Z order property. Let's just see. Let's just add an additional parameter here. I don't know what type it's supposed to be because I don't see it here, right? So let's just do a GST inspect and let's grep for a mixer. Oh, we have a GL video mixer. Is that the difference? Is that what we really want? let's GSD inspect GL video mixer. Oops. No such element. Wait, what is this? OpenGL. How do we create that one then? How do we create one of those then? GL video mixer. There we go. Okay. So here's our capabilities. Video X raw, video X raw. Background, latency, and parent. All right. I don't see anything in here about Z order either. So what on earth are they talking about with Z order then? I mean, the compositor definitely looks like that could work. Mixer.opengl.create. So the compositor looks like something that we could use, but let's explore further. Let's look for Z order, being that's what people are talking about. Alpha. The alpha element adds an alpha channel to a video stream. The values of the alpha channel can either be set to constant or can... Oh, wait a second. So this is set on the pad. So they have a video mixer, but they're setting it on the pad. So why do we not have any? Well, I guess because that would be a property, so it's not going to be documented. So let's try it. And we crashed. Freaking pretzel rocks. Okay. Is Z order much like it would be in HTML documentation, which gives you GSD compositor pad? Yeah, so that should be it, where we should be able to layer them. So we're just going to quickly test this out. So in the add input, we're just going to add a Z order, and I don't know what type this is supposed to type. I would imagine we're not going to have more than 250. Make that a U8. We're not going to have more than 255 layers, but you never know. Okay, so now we have this Z order, and we will pass that in here. This can be 0. Wait. No, not on the output, on the input. So this will be 1, and this one will be 0. Okay. So now we have that. So now on the mixer, right? Where's our video mixer? Okay, we're requesting this pad, this sync pad. Now we have the sync pad. This is the point where we link the pad. So I think what we need to do here is say sync pad dot, right? Wait, what's the source pad? Yes, okay. So sync pad dot set property I guess it's going to be Z order, and I don't know whether, like, I don't know what type it's supposed to take here. Okay, so you are clearly yelling at me. You don't like me. Why do you not like me? All right. Oh, because I typed U8 there. That would be why. Z order. Yeah. Still doesn't like me, but expected reference. Okay. Let's see. GC video aggregator takes a. What are we laughing at, Anu? I missed something. I want in on the joke. All right, so we'll. I trust Musin here, so we're gonna roll with U32.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Oh. Thanks for the follow, Calmec. Build. Okay, so we built. So now we have Z indexes. So let's see whether we get this weird issue with the bleeding. I hope not. Okay. RTMP is your favorite protocol? Nice. I attempted implementing the protocol at one point, and it's actually really crazy if you've never like looked at it. Okay, so we still clearly have some issues here. So I don't think that Z order thing is doing what we think it does. This would be a nice one. Oh, you did a Twitch clone. Awesome. Okay, so we clearly have bleeding of the channels. So this is not what I want. I think we can fix it with the alpha, I think. But I don't understand why. Because they're setting Z order here. And there's this in the mixer. Let's just try out their stuff here. Okay, so let's just break down this real quick. Okay, we have a video test source, and we're picking the snow pattern, and we're piping that into sync 0 on the mixer. Then we're creating another video test source, which is the SMPTE, which is the rainbow thing that you see. We're piping that into alpha and method grain, and then we're sending that into the mixer on sync 1. Then we're just naming the mixer, and on sync 0 we're setting Z order equal to 0 and sync 1 equal to Z order 1. And then just sending it to a video convert. Yeah, so we could rewrite all of this, right? And just remove this alpha method, right? Interesting. Someone adjust the antenna of the video is pretty grainy, yeah. Okay, so in theory, we should be able to reproduce our issue here, right? If we remove the Z ordering, right? It's effectively what we're doing. So, and there's works. Of course it does. Okay, so let's build a pipeline. We're going to try this from the command line, and let's see if we can reproduce our issue. Give me all of this. Give me that. Then we're going to come into main. Okay. Let's just put this in a comment. Or maybe not. All right. It'll be more easily seen this way anyway. Okay. So let's not do this. Let's do a URI decode bin. And the URI is going to equal this thing in here, the inner. Okay. Okay. We're gonna come to a new line. Maybe not. Now a new line. And we're gonna delete all of this. And let's see. Yep, we're gonna send that into the mixer. And then we want to take another URI decode bin. And then that's what this is going to be. And then we need Rockerboo's link here. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna get rid of all this alpha stuff. Okay, we send that to mixer 1. Rockerboo does have all the good links. He makes them because he clips everything. Okay, so we send that into the video mixer. We just name that mixer. And I guess we'll leave all the Z order stuff. And yeah. Okay, let's copy all this. And okay. So we've got some kind of issue here. Wait, no, because we set Z orders. So let's remove the Z orders and see whether this produces the same issue that we have. If it doesn't, I am freaking clueless. Okay, so it still does not have the same problem we do. This is basically the same thing. Okay. We're gonna step this up a notch. Now, let's send this over RTMP. RTMP sync location equals. Then we need this. And could not link video convert to. Oh, because we need to send this to a X264 encoder, and then we need to send that to an FLV mux. Now we go, and we see what happens. So this is Rust. Load. I hit the playing state, right? Oh, spinning. What does that mean? Please run to continue debugging. We broke something. Sending pipeline to ready. Let's see. Wait, what happened to our big command we just ran there? We're like totally missing that command now. Look at inspect for what? Yeah, spinning is an interesting output. I don't really know what that means. I don't know why it would be waiting for a debugger though. All right, so let's change this to X264 encode, and then we're gonna send that to an FLV mux, and we're gonna send that to an RTMP sync. RTMP sync, and the location is going to equal this. So we take all this, right? Cot sig seg v. Okay, so we clearly have an issue. Yeah, so it is a seg V, which is really interesting considering what we're doing here. What do we have in our mixer? What's our video, our URI decode? That's just connecting directly to the mixer as well. So, why is this broken? Let's remove one and see what happens. Okay, so this seems to work. Let's give it a second to start. Or at least I thought it did. Okay, so that works. So our seg fault is happening when we add an additional... Oh, we are forgetting an exclamation point. That is not helpful. It's like, just crash. Wait, pipeline syntax error. What's wrong with my syntax? Okay, so we have GST launch going into URI decode bin, which gets its URI, right? And we're piping that into the mixer at sync 0. And then, right? Let's look at their example. Oh no, so there isn't a pipe there. So that's right. There's not supposed to be a pipe here. And then that does get piped into sync 1. We just get video mixer, sync 0, sync 1. That comes out to video convert. What do we have our, and we do have a video convert. Video convert's the first thing that we're connecting. I mean, we're putting a queue there, but that shouldn't matter. Why does this not work? I don't think it has anything to do with this. Yeah. Okay. Is it an issue with this video? Let's try something else. Let's do Big Buck Bunny. Big Buck Bunny WebM. We want a WebM. There we go. If this works, I blame it on Rockerboo. He's like intentionally trying to embarrass me. That's what I think it is. No.
Sir, please. It is not only your reputation at stake here. Do be careful.
I don't quite understand this. Let's... All right, let's remove that, and we're gonna do an auto video sync here. Video sync. Oh wait, we need... Okay, so all of this works when we send it to an auto video sync. So it is something RTMP related. And I don't... Is it because we're missing an audio channel? Interesting. So we have it in a box here. What is the other thing? Oh wait, we never did Big Buck Bunny. Wait. We're just gonna put all this on new lines. All right. Where'd our Big Buck Bunny go? Okay. Here's Big Buck Bunny.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Age Monkey. Okay, so we do have some like weird stuff going on here, right? Because we don't have Big Buck Bunny showing up. So let's, I don't know, remove that and just try this and see if we get Big Buck Bunny. That is not Big Buck Bunny. Oh, because I removed the wrong one. Okay. And I need to, like, move this down. Okay, so... Yeah, let's do this. Ooh, erroneous pipeline. Is it different packages, WebM and MP4? Right. Yeah, and each out. Well, yeah. So we're trying to layer them first. All right, what are we missing here? We have 2 exclamation points here. So that's just a difference between where that's done. Okay. So here we need to actually just put it on the end of one. Okay. Now we're consistent. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's Big Buck Bunny. Wait a second. There may be a timestamping issue. A lot of buffers are being dropped. You're saying my computer's too slow? What's the matter with you? All right, let's see. No, we still got plenty of room left. You're crazy. Run. So this isn't even FLV. Let me catch up on the chat. But that provided MP4 is a VP9, which is probably the same as the WebM. But I don't know, never use GStreamer, only libav. Yeah, it doesn't FLV require specific timestamps. At least when I re-encode FLV. Yeah, so yeah, that's going to be some stuff I have to look into. So yeah, we have some sort of weird issue that's occurring here. I don't know. It could be, this could be this, it could literally just be the speed at which it's being delivered. So, wait, here. But yeah, we currently have artifacting kind of layering these things. We can play either video directly, right? So let's comment all of this out. So if we come up here and we have our two videos, if we play either one, right? So if we just add rocker booze here. That should play. What? Cargo run. At least when I re-encode FLV to MP4, I sometimes see if I don't fix the timestamps. So yeah, I guess we'll have to look into that too. But if we look at like this, the way this works up is our each one is handling its own video convert and getting its own X264 encoder. So every channel should be encoded. We actually need to move this back because what I probably want is to convert it over on this side coming out of the mixer and then send, I don't know whether, does the T support that? If the T supports it, it'd be better to send X264 into the T and then we only have to encode it one time. Whereas this way we have to encode twice, which I don't really like, but that's sort of, it's just kind of our first pass at it. But yeah, you're right, coming out of here, but URI decode bin does that itself. So this is what the bigger URI decode bin, we can see that it grabs the HTTP, it creates all of these elements, gives us a buffer, does a type find on it, realizes it's Matroska, so uses the Matroska demuxer, sends it into a multi-queue, and then we decode the VP8 and decode the Vorbis, and then that's what hits our mixers. And it comes out in like an XRAW format. So everything that comes into the mixers are XRAW, everything that comes out is XRAW. So that part is all kind of handled with this URI decode bin. So I'm not sure exactly. We just had somebody come in that seemed like they did, was it Calmec? Was it Calmec that did the RTMP stuff? So we clearly have some sort of issue with Rocker Boo's video though too. Because this MP4 is just stuck here in the ready state. So let's go look at what happened. Let's generate the dot file for... it would have been ready because it got stuck in ready. Let's spit that out to graphiz ready.svg. All right, let's go look at that. So this is Rocker Booze. So it was not able to basically decode this and figure out what it needed to. So let's do a let's take this venter and let's do a GST discover on it and see what we're working with. So it's VP9. Do we not have VP9 support? Really? VP9. So why GST inspect grep VP9. I don't know, Comic. I'm familiar with this space because I worked for a cable company doing video streaming and multiplexing for a few years, but I spent most of my time designing the distributed systems that failed those things over and did ad insertion and things like that. So I'm familiar enough to play in the space, but I'm definitely not like you won't. Maybe one day, but right now you won't see me like implementing these things, right? So it looks like the issue with potentially with no, because we played it. We did a URI decode bin. Oh wait, GSD launch. We did a URI decode bin, URI, and we passed that. And if we sent that into an auto video sync, oh, we have to do a video convert, don't we? Video convert. And I used a real pipe there instead of an actual pipe. What? Auto video sync. What am I missing here? Auto video sync. I'm going crazy. URI decode bin. URI. We're piping that to video convert. We pipe that to auto video sync. There we go. Nope. So it clearly has one, right? So why is our pipeline not doing it? Here's another one. My super creative one. So I'm just trying to figure out here because we clearly have an issue if we just do a cargo run here with just doing your video. We'll get stuck. But why? Does it have something to do with our Z order? No. So yeah, we get stuck, and the only difference here is the URI, right? Because if we switch this, then we go into a playing state. So there's clearly something with this video. What's wrong with that video? All right. Let's see. Let's just add a couple here. Because there's something different about, like, the more we move on through this, the more, like, random weird issues we find with, like, so we still have the artifacting issue, but now we have this issue with, like, so here we've got, like, an issue with the link failing. So here the link succeeds, but we still don't get video. We find the video pad and it says we linked. Why does the difference matter? What is different between these? Like, and for this one, So here we link the video, but we don't link that. And my guess is that's going to be a format issue, or codec rather. So let's do a GST discover on this. And it's AAC, so there's no reason it shouldn't be able to do that. So why does that? Let's see. We need, I guess we look for the word move. That's the only place in here that does that. So here is where we try to link our, where is it? Oh, let's remove. Add input. No. All right. We need a to-do here too. Add input should name, remove input. Oh, no, we already have that in there. All right. Okay. So here's where we discover the source pad when the URI decode bin takes the URI, goes out, gets the thing, and then just tries to decide what decoders and demuxers and stuff like that we should use. So here we have a QuickTime container. Is that our issue with this one? No, because it opens it, because it finds the video, but it fails to connect the audio. The audio is our issue. So here's where we tried to connect it. So I think what we need to do here is wrap this in a debug. Why is this broken? All right. Okay. Let's see. I can't go on the left side of an equal. Oh, oops. That is not what I meant to do. I meant to wrap it here. All right. Okay, so it returns back a mixer pad. Okay, so this is actually not the part that I wanted to do. I really want it to be here. So we really need to just spit out what the result was, right? No format. No format. And I don't think that this is going to work if we just do, whereas right, there's always helpful errors. Yeah, and so my guess is this has something to do with the way the file was created or something. So let's see, let's just do our GST launch, and we'll just try and do a URI decode bin on it. URI equals Okay, and then let's just pipe that into a video convert. Pipe that into a auto video sync. Okay. So that works. So is our issue that we need to create a video convert for that? Like if we came in here and we created a video convert pad for it, is that our issue? So if we did something like this, right? Let video convert equal and video convert Okay, so now we have this video convert element. Then where's our link many, right? Okay, so nope. Yes, that's what we want. So now if we take we actually want to add many now, right? Add many. We're going to pass it source, and now we're going to pass it video convert as well. Video convert. Okay. Now we want to link the video convert to self dot video mixer. No, we can't do it here because we haven't requested the pad from the video mixer yet. Okay, wait, we gotta undo. Backing up the bus. All right. We can save this though. We're gonna take that. We're gonna come down to where we find our video sync. There's our video. Okay. So now we might be able to move this somewhere too. But just thinking. Yeah, there's some sort of format negotiation that automatically occurs between the different elements. And so I think whatever is happening is that negotiation isn't happening. And like here, you see me pump it to a video convert first and then out. But the question is, if I remove the video convert, right, we might end up having like some sort of... No. GST launch is just smart, I guess. I feel like I'm doing this the wrong way. Again, okay. So when we discover a pad that is a source pad on whatever the end result is for the video coming out of the demuxer and decoder for the URI decode bin, and that's what we're being notified that thing comes up. What do we need to attach that to? We need to attach that to the video convert. And then the video convert needs to be attached to the mixer. So I was right the first time. This should come up here. Then we should change this to an add many. And then we also need to give it the video convert. Okay. Now we need to link them. And this is always the thing I forget because it's not on the pipeline. It's just a freaking thing we call. Ah. Okay. So now we want to link the video mixer. It is under self dot video mixer. I'm going to link that to our video convert. And then I should have like saved the changes before I did this. You'd think I would, but yeah. So if I just link those, will it create a pad? Because then I don't have to request a pad, do I? I'm going to comment this out. Because what I think I need here is let sync pad equal video convert dot get static pad sync. All right. Fill the link elements. Well, that's not helpful. My guess is this is here. No, not there. I actually think these need to be in the reverse direction, but right? We might have to like do the request pad thing up here. Okay. So we're still having the same issue though. Type is audio X raw but link failed. And we removed all of that, right? Well, we figured a couple things out today, but still running into roadblocks. So I need to take a note up here too. Because we also need to figure out why some videos work and others fail. Input videos. Okay. I'm probably going to call it quits here in just a couple of minutes. Did anybody have any questions about like what we're working on, what issues we're struggling with, what the bigger project goal is, anything like that? Because I don't think in the next couple of minutes we are going to make it very far in diagnosing this problem, because this is not helpful at all. I may or may not get back on later tonight to work on it too. I did that in video XRAW, not audio. Oh, you're right. You're right. What has it all, Musin? Has it always been the audio one that was failing to link? I thought it was the video one. Okay, so it's always been the audio. All right. So, audio, convert. Okay. And then let's come down in here. And you get to go back to normal. And then you get to come with me. We're going to take a walk up here. And it's the video. Oh, it wasn't the audio that I put the freaking debug to. All right. All right. So this, you're going to go here. You are going to get commented out. And audio. Oh. A local variable with similar. Oh. Well, that's not good. Fail to add input. Fail to create element from factory name. Oh. Audio convert. Failed to link elements. Oh. Audio mixer. Look at that. So that's working. The video's short, so that might have fixed that issue. So I actually think that maybe we should just do this for everything. Maybe the video should also be this way. And then if it is this way, that means we can also connect the things the way we did before. So if we change this to video convert, and we change that to video convert, we might want to like add a direction here, because if you named an input and output the same thing, we could have some issues. But so let's just do this too. All right, so there's our video convert. Then we're gonna take this and we're gonna link our video convert to our video mixer, and then we're gonna come down here, and I guess we don't even need all this. And then come down here, and we can replace that with that. Then we do our video convert. And then we actually don't even need to pass in it, because now it doesn't even need access to the mixer. Okay, so that works beautifully. And now we don't even need access to the mixer, which means we can get rid of this whole clone thing here, right? Okay. Okay, so that works. Now, what this also allows us to do now is we can come up here and this GST thing that we're tracking output with, we can just call this, I don't know, stream. Somebody want to give me another name for this? A mux, even though it's not multiplexed together. I don't know. I don't know. We'll call it a mux for now. So then in this case, we want a mux. And then here, somebody yell now if you don't like the name mux. We'll change it. Okay, so now we have a mux. And I know that we have here, that's a mux. Okay. Now what we can do is steal this. And now we can go to our add input. And yeah, I got to remember to use LSP to do the renames. I freaking always forget that. I think I have like a, yeah, there we go. While you're talking about mux, I'm just thinking that description is deprecated on error. What do you mean? Okay, so here is our new inputs, and we are going to put our audio convert and our video convert. Okay, and this is not going to build. On standard error, you should be using standard format display for the user output. I'm not sure what you mean. I think I copied an example for my error handling that somebody sent me. I'm just wondering why the compiler isn't complaining. Maybe it is. Use after move, use after move. Yeah, so we need to clone these. We already determined that we are able to clone these. Okay. Now why are you complaining? Borrow of move value. No, we cloned you. Huh? Value borrowed here after move. Is that because we need to clone it beforehand? I mean, because like if that's the case, then bring you up here. You're still gonna complain, right? Whoa, maybe not. All right. So, are you gonna run? Okay, awesome. So now we have all of this stuff working. We're tracking it the same way. We have a mux that gives us our audio and video, which means we now have the lowest element, which means we can do the same thing we did last time, except walk the other direction. We'll find peers, get the parent, find peers, except we're going to be looking at sources instead of sinks. No, other way around. We're going to be grabbing the sync pads instead of the source pads. And then we should be able to cleanly remove an input, we hope. So maybe I'll work on that later tonight if I get back on. Or I'll work on the bot. I'm not sure yet. All right. Any questions before I call it a day? I'm hungry. We might still need to look at the compositor. But let's who is on the Twitch? Does anybody stream?
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Raven Master. We've got Milky Dev on.
Someone finds you interesting, sir. It appears we have a new follower.
Thanks for the follow, Barabuda. All right, categories. Where's science and tech? Give me science and tech. Science and tech. I did search for tags. You didn't give me what I wanted. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, we got game dev. We have anybody doing Rust? Writing a VS Code extension, game dev. Bear Doodah falls over. Say Robert Tables. There's us. We got Melky Dev learning NLP. Press End a bunch and Control F for us. Yeah. Yep, it's just us doing Rust. Just us. Hey, look, somebody's trying to build a Twitch bot. Nobody builds a Twitch bot on Twitch. There's not a lot of... We don't have a lot of options here, do we? Let's build a Jarvis. Nice. Keyboard tracker, open source dev, command prompt. Viewers need to start streaming so we can lurk there. Yeah. Yeah, we need more streamers on Twitch. Like, now I see why you all hang out here while I code. I mean, you don't have a lot of options. You're kind of settling. I get it. All right. What's Madhouse Steve doing? Oh, he's building the Twitch bot. If I wasn't going to bed, back here, get back on. Rust chatting. Oh, wait. Doing Rust and OOP. From the Rust book. All right. Anybody want to do the doing advanced Rust? All right, let's do it. We need this. We need that. Him. Hit him. You, JJ. Oh. All right, here we go. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I may or not be back on later tonight. Probably not Friday. I'll probably stream some this weekend, but my guaranteed times are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 1 to 4 Eastern, and then I pop on randomly in the evenings and at night. But thanks again for hanging out.